Hello guys, it's Derek here from DerekTafuma.com. Um, Welcome to my Google Hangout, which I'm repurposing as a webinar. So what I wanted to do is to share my screen. I'm going to share a presentation which I've prepared, and here's the presentation. Today I'm going to talk about, so that's my website, DerekTafuma.com, and I'm going to talk about telling stories on social media and telling stories in general. It's not just social media where we are sharing stories now. We are sharing stories by writing books. We are sharing stories by making movies, not necessarily social media, but I think social media is like a training ground for anything that you want to learn. If you want to learn to tell stories, if you want to learn to do video, you go to social media. If you want to learn to blog, you go to social media. If you want to learn to make videos, to blog, to podcast, you can use social media for that. So how do we tell stories? So we tell stories in four different ways, but I've only put three, and I'll explain why I've only put three for now. So the first thing is we can blog, which means we can write, okay? So writing is really important, and you need to be writing every day. If you can write at least 1,000 words a day, you will become a writer, okay? So you can blog, you can use free blogging sites, you can use, and I'm going to talk about some of the sites that you can use for blogging. But basically, whatever you do, you should be blogging about it, okay? If you blog about something, then you're going to turn out to be an authority in that field, okay? Then there is podcasting. Podcasting is also really important. Podcasting is the new radio station. It's your own personal radio station. If you're podcasting, you're putting out your own content in the form of voice. So you can repurpose the blogging or the writing into words. Some people are good at talking, some people are good at writing. If you're good at both, like myself, if you're comfortable doing both, then that's a bonus. Then the third one is video blogging, or what we now call vlogging. So video blogging is basically making videos. So this video that I'm making now is a video blog. And just to reiterate, just to give examples of exactly what I've just done. So by doing some writing, I've just done some blogging here. By talking, I'm not only am I podcasting, but I'm also creating a video. So I'm blogging, podcasting, and video blogging all at the same time. So if you focus on just blogging or video blogging or vlogging, you can do the other two types, because basically you want to write a script. If you want to write a script, I don't write scripts, I just write down bullet points, and I use those bullet points to help me go through. These are the things I talk about in my blog. So it's something that I've been talking about for a long time. So it's things that are just at my fingertips. Then podcasting, obviously, talking. I've been teaching for some time. So as a teacher, you're always talking. And I've noticed that even when I'm with family and friends, I tend to dominate the conversation because I tend to talk quite a lot. Then video blogging, which a lot of people find difficult to do, because it can be quite difficult for some people to go on camera, right? So let's look at the three types. So we talk about the fourth type, which is sharing pictures. And like I said, sharing pictures is something that you do when you're blogging, podcasting, or video blogging. If you look on the right of this slide, there is an old typewriter there. That picture is, I'm trying to show that is something we can use to tell a story. So we are writing with a typewriter. The first typewriter I used was a Remington. It looks something like this. It was a Remington. It was green in color. That was my first introduction to a keyboard. It even had a manual that I used to read. I could change the ribbon and type. The big the big black dog jumped over the lazy fox, something like that. That is a sentence which covers every letter of the alphabet. Okay, so you'll find that pictures is also a big part. That's why we have applications like Instagram, which are basically for sharing pictures. And this picture I got from pixabay.com. So you can see that there are quite a number of websites now which are dealing with which are just putting out pictures that we can use for creating our slides, such as this one. Okay, so let's talk about blogging. So there are a number of ways in which you can do blogging. The most basic ones now, and a lot of people are doing this, but they don't realize they're actually blogging, is if you use Twitter. I know I've got it there as my fourth one. There is more than the 6 that I've put here, but Twitter and Facebook, they are training grounds if you want to start blogging. Basically, on Facebook, you can write 1,000 words if you want, or less, or even more. Medium is another one. You can put different length. It tells the reader just how many minutes it's going to take them to read that article. So if you want your ideas to start going out to the readers, you can start with Medium. Facebook is quite big because, Facebook is convenient because it has, there are a lot of people who are using Facebook, and a lot of your friends are also on Facebook. So it's a good platform to practice blogging. As you become better and better, you can use WordPress. The WordPress site has a free version where you can just put your articles there, but the only difference is you cannot put a personalized website like DerrickTafuma.com. You'd have to have something like Derrick.wordpress.com or something like that. So the WordPress is quite a good platform. A lot of companies like CNN and Wall Street Journal are using it. So big companies using WordPress, you can customize it to the way that you want it to look. Then we have LinkedIn, and I think if you're not blogging on LinkedIn, you're making a mistake, because LinkedIn is your professional social network, but a lot of people are focusing on getting interviews, and then they go to the interview and they start talking at the interview, and they might be quite convincing, they'll get the job, but would it not make sense if you could actually blog on LinkedIn on the things that you're qualified for, so that you can showcase your expertise before you're even called in for interview, so they know what you're doing. If you've got products that you can put out on LinkedIn, then surely the employer is more impressed by having, because they can go through something that you've actually done instead of waiting for you to make a presentation of potentially what. Okay, so like I said, YouTube as well is YouTube is a search engine, by the way. We should remember that. So if we post a video on YouTube, we should also include a description of the video content, which is comprehensive, which is all the keywords that you want to come up when people are searching on YouTube, because YouTube is a search engine. So if you ignore putting a comprehensive description of the video, then you may not show up in a lot of the searches that people are doing on YouTube. Okay, so that's blogging. Okay, then podcasting. Podcasting, like I said, is your personal radio station. So podcasting is another way of telling stories. The most convenient application right now for podcasting is called Anchor, Anchor.fm. I use it quite a lot, almost on a daily basis. So it used to be that you could record yourself for a maximum 2 minutes, but now it's 5 minutes. And the good thing is after you've just finished recording, the Anchor wave goes live. It's live on Anchor, and you can share it on other social media platforms. And you can also post it on the iTunes podcast. It's turned into an iTunes podcast. You can also turn it into a YouTube video and post it on YouTube. You can also transcribe it so that the words are floating on the YouTube video as you are talking. Okay, but for me, that it's taken a bit of time because it getting a lot of the words wrong. So it's something that I'm still waiting for it to get better, to improve. Then there's SoundCloud. Besides SoundCloud, there are other podcasting platforms. Stitcher is one of them. I should include Stitcher in this. I'm going to edit this particular slide and include Stitcher. It's quite huge. And as for vlogging, I'm going to come to vlogging in a minute. But basically, podcasting is important because it's word. Okay, it's talking. It's something that we learn before we even learn to write or to read. We learn to speak. So speaking is something that human beings associate with the human mind. Is quite receptive to listening to stories, to the extent that instead of reading quite a lot, I listen to audiobooks quite a lot. And I also listen to a lot of podcasts. Okay, so podcasting is another way of telling stories on social media. So we've looked at blogging as a way of telling stories, and we have WordPress, Medium, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Then we have podcasting, and we can use Anchor.fm, the iTunes podcast platform by Apple, and the SoundCloud. We also have Stitcher, which I'm going to include as soon as I'm done with this recording. Then blogging or vlogging. And at the top of the pile is YouTube. Then now we have Facebook Live. We have Periscope by Twitter. We have Snapchat. We have Instagram. We have Wistia. We have this, I think that's the one I was thinking of in the previous slide. So we have Wistia, but we have many other video platforms. And video is really big, which is why I'm making these videos, which is why I will try to make these on a daily basis, because a video has something which is different from, in fact, video includes all the other forms of communicating, forms of sharing stories or telling stories on social media. We talked about blogging. You can blog within the video. In the video description, you can put your blog in there. You can in the comment section, you can discuss with people. So there's a lot of writing. There's a lot of blogging taking place. Podcasting, when you're talking, you're podcasting. You can even take a podcast and repurpose it into a video and add images. Okay, so when you're video blogging, not only are you blogging, but you're also podcasting and you're also sharing pictures. Okay, and so these are the most prominent platforms that are being used. The first was YouTube, and we know that YouTube is also a social. It's also a search engine, and then we have Facebook. Facebook used to have the live part of it, but now we have Facebook Live. You can go live on Facebook. You can go live on Periscope. Periscope was bought by Twitter, so Periscope belongs to Twitter. Then we have Snapchat. Snapchat has refused to be bought by Facebook for some time now. Then we have Instagram, which was bought by Facebook. So you can go live on Instagram, you can go live on Facebook, you can go live on Periscope, and you can I don't know about Wistia, but Wistia is a platform that I'm going to be using for my Teachable School. So that's why I've included it there. I actually discovered it a few days ago when I was doing my research into teaching online on the teachable.com platform. Okay, so guys, thank you for listening. It's Derek Tafuma here from DerekTafuma.com, and I was talking about telling stories on social media, and there are 3 ways of doing this: blogging, podcasting, and video blogging. Thank you for listening. I will see you, I think, tomorrow. Tomorrow I will try and do another video, and in the video I'm going to include another presentation like the one I've just done.